In 1974, a young Igbo man walked out of Wayne State University School of Medicine in Detroit, Michigan, with a degree in his hand and a decision in his heart. He would spend his life inside the most unforgiving terrain in medicine, the human brain. His name is Dr. Emeka Nchekwube, and for the next 50 years, he would quietly become one of the most trusted neurosurgeons in American West without ever chasing the spotlight.
Will you share a favorite story of how you've demonstrated leading by example?
Because I was the only neurosurgeon there for about 10 years, I couldn't take any time off. Because if I left town for any length of time, somebody's bound to die. And I couldn't live with that. And on one occasion, my father took ill. And I was summoned to come see him because he was going to die eventually. And I gave notice to everybody that I was going to leave for about 10 days. And on the appointed day, I left and on my way to the airport. I always carry my beeper with me reflexively because I'm a doctor. And sure enough, the beeper went off on my way to the airport. So I ignored it, thinking it was a mistake. And then it went off again. This time I went to a payphone. And this was before the era of cellular phone. So I had to negotiate with a homeless guy who lived there to give me 5 minutes to make a call, and he did. So I called the emergency room, and sure enough, there was a patient who was an expanding blood clot in the brain, who was in a time-sensitive danger. So I turned around and came back and took him to the operating room, operated on him. Then I waited another 7 days to render post-operative care because that's one of my obligations. And in the meantime, my father died. I couldn't see him. And it was a critical choice I had to make that has to do with what I call our ancient virtues, where you make a choice between two different options, both morally correct, but you look for the higher good, which was to turn around and go back and take care of somebody who needed your help because you are the only person in this time and place that could make a difference in his life. And that's exactly what I did.
Every great story has a beginning, and Dr. Nchekwube's story started in Lagos, Nigeria, a city of noise, ambition, and resilience. Emeka came of age during a period of unrest and genocidal war, the kind of chaos that breaks most futures before they start. But he didn't break his. He excelled in school. He was sharp, disciplined, hungry, the way many Igbo children are raised to be, to turn struggle into fuel and education into escape velocity. That fuel carried him across an ocean into American medicine at a time when very few African doctors and even fewer neurosurgeons were given a seat at that table. From 1974 to 1979, Emeka trained at Detroit Medical Center and Wayne State University, 5 grueling years learning to operate on the organ that makes most of us who we are. One wrong millimeter and a life changes forever. Neurosurgery doesn't forgive hesitation, and it does not forgive fear. What Dr. Nchekwube did was to master both. Then, he did something very few young doctors dare to do. He took over the practice of a fellow African physician, moving on to a teaching post, and stepped into what himself would later call the Wild West of San Jose medicine, high trauma, under-coordinated, and unpredictable. He didn't flinch. He got to work. What followed wasn't a single dramatic breakthrough. It was something rarer, consistency. 40 years, one hospital, thousands of patients, brain tumors, spinal trauma, epidural hematomas after car accidents, seizures, congenital conditions in children who had nowhere else to turn. One patient later recalled the emergency surgery that saved her life after a bicycle accident at 17, and how years afterwards, Dr. Nchekwube didn't just disappear from her story. He continued to show up. He came to her college graduation. He came to her 40th birthday. And that is not just medicine. That is Igbo community spirit. That is Igbo hospitality. The idea that once you help someone, they become family. But Dr. Nchekwube was never only a neurosurgeon. He was an inventor, chasing ideas most people would call impossible. At the center of his research, hypoestoxide, a natural compound drawn from Hypoestes rosea, a plant indigenous to Nigeria, working alongside a small team of scientists under the company name Immune Modulation Incorporated. He became a named co-inventor on a remarkable portfolio of patents built entirely on this one African herb. One patent claims hypoestoxide power against cancer, inflammatory diseases, high cholesterol, malaria, and diabetes. 5 major illnesses, one plant, one Igbo man who patented them all. Another reimagined it as a coating for medical stents designed to stop arteries from narrowing again after treatment. A third turned it into a tropical therapy for skin conditions. And most recently, hypoestoxide has been studied, with Nchekwube listed among the inventors as a possible treatment for neurodegenerative diseases, including Parkinson. Think about that. A plant that grows wild on Igbo soil, the kind of herb an elder might once have used quietly, without ceremony, patented and studied on the international stage as a candidate for some of the modern medicine's hardest problems: cancer, heart disease, malaria, and then, most recently, Parkinson. A man trained to save one brain at a time was also, patent by patent, working to turn an overlooked African herb into a weapon against diseases worldwide. That is Igbo resilience, and that is Igbo excellence. We often picture excellence as headlines, trophies, medals, awards, Nobel prizes, viral moments. But Igbo excellence has always had a different signature. The trader who built an empire from nothing, the student who becomes the first doctor in his family, the immigrant who masters a foreign language and system and then hands the door back open for others. Dr. Emeka Nchekube's excellence looks like a scar that healed, a child who walks again after many years, a mother who lived to see her grandchildren, a community in San Jose that, without ever saying a word in Igbo, experience Igbo values every single day: hard work, honor, and a refusal to abandon anyone in crisis. That is Igbo excellence demonstrated every day in America. Dr. Emeka Nchekwube never sought the spotlight. He didn't need to. The legacy is written in the thousands of people walking around today who wouldn't have been if not for him, if not for his hands, his mind, and his refusal to quit. More than 50 years after that graduation in 1974, Dr. Emeka Nchekwube is still one name in a long, unbroken line of Igbo men and women who left home and changed the world, one life at a time.
As you know, you were our facility winner of the first Humanitarian Award for physicians. You've been selected as the sole winner of the 2022.
Dr. Nchekwube decided very early on in his life that he wanted to do good for others.
He was one of the first people I met coming to the organization, and you can just feel his warmth, his energy.
When I came here some 43 years ago, there was a history of neurosurgeons not wanting to stick around here because this place was economically depressed. I said to myself, if I left, I have nobody else to take care of these people. And that's not good enough. So I stayed.
I've heard just incredible stories over the years of all the people he's impacted their lives, their family members, former patients.
People come to us at the worst moment in their lives. Something bad, terribly bad happened to them. And we address the medical aspect of it. But every once in a while, you look somebody in the eye and say, why are you so sad? And on one occasion, I got an answer that kind of shook me up.
My understanding of the story as he's explained it to me is that it was a patient he was serving, and the patient essentially wasn't going to survive and was not in the position to take care of their young children.
So when I asked the question, why are you so sad? She told me. I said, well, what can I do to help? And she said, well, can you get my kids some lunch? It was a very strange request to ask of a brain surgeon. I said, sure. Where do you live? And she told me. So I said to myself, well, we've taken care of today. What happens tomorrow? And the day after, and the day after. So on my way home, I called my wife. I said, you know, I think we're going to adopt 2 young Indian kids. And she said, bring them on. And so we adopted them. There's an old saying in neuroscience, it's as much an act not to act as it is to act. I chose to act, and the result was wonderful.
You know, he's always enterprising and thinking of ways in which he can help and support people. And not only has he done that in the operating room and on the floors of this hospital, he's also successfully gotten multiple patents, you know, and these are things that support developing countries.
He's in class in himself. I mean, what he has, nobody else has.
To have him nominated and to win an award like this, it's reassuring for all of us that people do recognize the good that you do.
This is Enuane Cultural Forum, where we promote the rich cultural heritage of the Igbo people and where we celebrate Igbo excellence. If you enjoy this beautiful documentary celebrating the achievements of Dr. Emeka Nchekwube, kindly hit the subscribe button. My name, once again, is Prince Onwadenem Ngozi Chukwuka Fortune, and I will see you in my subsequent videos. Thanks for supporting Enuane Cultural Forum. Bye-bye.
Anyone